takes a minute to. We're live. Give me a moment. All right. Hi, Tanya. Can you hear me?
Hello, Farah.
Yes, you can hear me.
I hear you great. Yeah.
Okay. First of all, I wanted to say hello to our Facebook family. And if you are watching live or watching later, do share when you're watching with a hashtag replay. I wanted to invite you to my 30-day live challenge that I was taking. And of course, you know, I don't know which day it is. I think it's day 2022. And today, as I was telling you, I'm going to, one of the surprises we had was this big surprise of having my beautiful guest, Tanya, to be in this conversation with me. And before I share a little bit about Tanya, I wanted to also remind you that yesterday I shared on my page that it's far more exciting to create a miracle than to wait for one to happen. So I wanted to say this is what we are in today, which is creation. And I think Tanya is a miracle. First of all, welcome, Tanya. It's beautiful, beautiful to have you here.
Thank you so much, Farah. It's really an honor to be with you today, especially on this day full of love.
Oh, yes, I know. So what does this day really mean for you, Tanya?
Well, this day is a day where most people really express love, or they think about their own love, or they think about, it's just love is more present. And when I think about my own life and the transitions of love and different relationships that I've had, and the growth of love through forgiveness, laying judgments down, and truly coming from a place of peace, love can really heal all wounds if we're willing.
That's a beautiful, beautiful way to look at love. There's been so many conversations about love on some of the groups that I'm on, and it's amazing to listen to these perspectives. So first of all, thank you for sharing that, and welcome. I wanted to share with all our viewers a little bit about Tanya. Some of you know that I have been, yes, you know already that I have been talking about this book, The Ultimate Coach, and this incredible event that's coming up in less than a week. But of course, you don't know the people who are in my life right now in this creation. So I want to introduce you to Tanya. Tanya is actually joining us from Florida. Tanya?
Yes, yes, South Florida.
And it's 10 a.m. for you, correct?
Yes, it is 10 a.m.
Okay, great. So Tanya is a certified master insight coach, and she is a speaker, an international life coach, entrepreneur, and a coach who believes in the mission of empowering people to reach their highest potential. What I know about Tanya is the huge, huge, immense contribution she's doing in the being movement and the role she plays in making this impact of the power of this book in our community, in the Facebook community. Of course, Tanya has a lot of roles that she plays, and one of the roles she plays beautifully is as a mother. I know Tanya has 4 beautiful children, and of course, married for 12 years, and her husband and she are really rocking this whole experience of bringing this into our world. I also want to share that I was sharing on, when I was introducing you, that one of the things that you, like your mantra, which is always remember that you're braver than you think, stronger than you seem, and loved more than you know. When I read that, I just felt that I was speaking it. So I wanted to pause here and invite you to share what that statement really means for you, Tanya.
Thank you, Farah, for asking me that. To share a little bit even about my life is I've had different experiences that were scary, whether they were injuries or whether they were near-death experiences for myself, for my husband, for my children. There we have experienced different scenarios as such. And so understanding that each one of those experiences has grown me. And in the unknowing, I was brave to get through it. I was braver than I thought I was. I was loved more than I felt at times when I felt all alone as I was growing through some of those experiences. And so understanding now, coming from a place that every single one of those experiences grew me and grew my love to be able to help love and serve others that are in the trenches, that are going through really tough times, whether they're messy or whether they feel alone or whether, and so it's just understanding that if I would never have gone through that, I wouldn't be able to come from this place of love like I do. And I feel like that has really held me tight in knowing that I am loved and I am brave. And through those times where I didn't feel that, just even saying it empowered me. It was like a document, it empowered me to, in that belief, to still rise up, to still stand up, to still show up, to still love me, to still love the people around me, even if it was hard, and to create how I wanted to do it from there. So that's what it means to me. I think I could go on for a long time about what it means, to be honest, to really share some stories where that really held me tight, but I'll keep it short.
Right. You're right. That statement, is so powerful, and obviously it comes from your life experiences and what you believe today. And I'm just curious. I know you have, you've been reading this book, and I heard you've read it 9 times. It's your 9th reading. So maybe you can share with us what this book of being really means to you.
Absolutely. I would love to share what the book of being means to me in reference to love and how it has repaired and restored relationships in my life, with my children, with family members, where I held on to stories from my past, whether they were a story from my grandparents or my parents. I was able to develop this bravery inside of me to be able to create conversations to put some of those stories to rest, or to create healing around some of those stories that really still paralyzed me in certain senses, because I kept going back to the same story. And when I realized I kept going back to the same story and those stories weren't serving me, it helped me realize, okay, well, who do I need to be to create a loving relationship with myself, with that person? And then start from there. And oftentimes that was to create a conversation for clarity. And that took bravery. And I will say that, thank you, 𝗍𝗵. In one of her roundtable discussion podcasts, in the very first one, she shared with us a document that she uses to create 𝗍𝗵. She shared very intimately with us about how she creates him. And honestly, when I read the words, and when I read how she created him, I was in a place of my marriage where there was a lot of hurt. There was a lot of pain. There was still pain. And when I looked at how she creates her husband and I looked at how she did it, I had to flip it over. It was so powerful. I was like, I'm not there. I'm really not there yet. And I thought, wow, I have so much work to do. I have so much work to do, because if I'm not coming from a place of love, or if I'm judging, then there is lack of love. And so that truly, I held on to that. Like if I'm coming from a place of judgment, then I lack love. So if I love my husband, then how can I recreate what I really want with my husband? How can I really come from a place of restoration and renewal? And it did not happen overnight. There were so many tears shed. There were so many walks that were walked. There were so many just quiet spaces that I created for myself and things that I plugged into in order to build that bravery within me to start to that process of creating what I want from a place of ownership, not creating what I don't want, and owning that. And owning that I'm creating what I don't want, because that's literally how I'm reacting to things. That's literally how I'm responding to things, because of my reaction, rather than truly from a place of love and understanding and listening to understand, not just listening to judge or listen to respond or to react. And so it really got me to come from a place of, wow, I am this with so many other people and not with my husband. And why is that? Why is that? And I would love to share that with you, because I think this is really, really powerful, because both my husband and I love each other immensely. We both have, he is extremely committed in his workspace and in his missions. So much so that he is not home oftentimes. And that creates a transition. Understanding that when I come from a place of integrity with my word and what that means to me, I recognized when other people didn't keep their word to me, how I quickly shifted, and I would quickly rearrange things, and I would quickly I was the fixer. But what I recognized is I kept putting my things on the side. I kept shifting everything that was important to me. Everything that was important to me was off to the side, until I could really create the conversation that this is really important to me. And I would like for you to hear me. And I would like for you to understand me. He didn't hear me, and he didn't understand me. And I had to come from a place of love for myself, that it still meant something to me. It was still important to me. Where did I still want to show up? And honestly, in this transition in growth, it gave me permission to stay in integrity to my word to myself, to show up and still be my word where I want to commit my word, and also to create a conversation of awareness of where that we could both improve in our relationship, not coming from a place of judgment, but coming from a place of love. And when I could open it up like that, rather than pointing the fingers like, you don't show up here, you're not here, or I need help, and blaming, but truly coming from a place of, I love you, but I need help. I need support. And I would like to be heard. Can I have the space to be heard? And when I wasn't, to be okay with that and still hear me. Still hear me and give me the space to hear me. And with that, I was able to come from a bigger place of love, a bigger place of compassion, because I refueled me to be able to come from that. Like I wouldn't have been able to do it if I just judged him for not hearing me. Because at first I did. It was like, God, look, I'm trying to talk and he's still not hearing me. And I was judging that rather than still being brave to have a conversation, but without an expectation. Having a conversation without an expectation. But I was still showing up to have the conversation because that was what loving me looked like. To have the conversation to create clarity, to have the conversation to create what I actually wanted to create in my relationship, because what was going on wasn't what I wanted. Was the exact opposite.
Thank you, Tanya. That's, you actually took me to a space when when I didn't do this work, this work on how I was creating these relationships in my mind. And it's so easy to go to the space of saying, oh, I feel like a single mother, I'm doing everything. I remember saying that as well. And today I realized that the formula is, the magic of creating from love, creating miracles by being love is through our thoughts. It starts with the language of love. So I can fall in love or I can fall out of love by how I say it. So if I say he's hardly there, so I can easily create that in my mind. But if I'm able to shift that, I would probably be able to create, as you said, what Amy was doing, to create someone in your mind. And that's what you choose. You choose to create love. I'm understanding that now. And I realize that, I've said things like, I fall in love very easily. I fall in love with people. I fall in love with concepts. I fall in love with a book. And I speak from my heart when I fall in love. And I'm actually using the power of language when I'm in love. And I know that I can really create anything from there. I just had a call 30 minutes ago with a friend, and we were talking about something else, but just the question of what's happening in your life. And I was able to create this curiosity in his mind about what's so important for me, which is expanding. And there was so much love with which I was sharing the experience I have of the book and what we are creating in Mumbai. On the call, he bought the book, and he's in Italy. And
Yes.
I was just thinking about the power, the miracles, when you're speaking from that space or you're being that. So I just wanted to share that I know where you're coming from, that it's so powerful to be able to shift that, the language, and to think about also for yourself. So I love how you're talking about creating from love. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you, Farah. It literally has shifted my entire marriage.
Yeah.
And obviously there's always work to do, and it's always a work in progress, but it opened us up to recognize that we both love each other. And when we are listening to understand rather than to judge or react or respond, it's a totally different space. And he was actually, from that conversation, all of a sudden, every day after that, I would receive, or I would have a little sticky on my mirror. And it started with, I love my wife. And then the next day it was an affirmation. And then the next day it was an affirmation. And he created a heart out of it. And he was leaving out of town last week. He was gone for 7 days. And I noticed that when he had left, he put 7 more. So he had added 7 for all the days that he wasn't going to be here. And just that little thing is so dynamic and huge in our relationships, because it empowers me when he was gone. It set me in a totally different space, and understanding that we're both, even though we are not physically with each other and in possibly completely different ends of the world, we still love each other. We're still willing to work at it, And the only way we can do that is if we come from a place of creating it from love rather than judgment. So
beautiful. And I love what you mentioned. You said that there are so many ways in which we can give love, like these small gestures, right? And I wanted to show something, what I did today. And it is inspired from the book, the chapter on love. So I think you know how intense my love is for my beautiful 23-year-old. So today I wanted to show her, and every day I've been sending her messages. Of course, today I sent some extra messages. So I took a picture of, so she had actually given me this mug a long time ago. She had printed our picture when she was a baby. And so I made a cup of tea. And today I took a picture of this and I sent it to her. And the message was, did I tell you I love you? And it was just a gesture. But for me, I want to be intense. I want to show that I'm there, that I love you. And it was this small gesture. It opened so much for me and for her as well, I guess. So that's one thing, is about giving and showing love. There's another thing that I'm learning to do is receive love. I wasn't very comfortable with that. It was conditional for me. I was not opening my heart to receiving. But what I'm learning is that it's important for me to receive as well. Yeah.
Farah,
yeah.
what you shared there to me was so unique and special and relatable to even back to what Ranjan said with his mother when she was passing, that be here, I am here, and he was there. And that was the disconnect even with my husband and I. And I'd love to share and elaborate on that just for a second, because I think it might be really valuable for others that are in relationships. We've been together for 22 years, even though we've only been married for 12. And in that, there's a lot of traveling. And there's a lot of working. And so when he comes home, all he wanted is for me to be there. For me, as a mother of 4, oftentimes that would be my permission for myself to, okay, go to the grocery store, right? Go to the things you need to do, go to keep this house functioning. And all he wanted me to do was be there. And that was the disconnect, was I was out running and doing the things in acts of service, because that is my love language, acts of service, and doing those to keep the house functioning, when all he wanted from me was to be there. And we could recreate that disconnect. So he would want to be here because he knows I'm here with him, rather than just getting all the things done.
Yeah.
All the, I need to do this, I have to do this, I should do this, why haven't I done that? Okay, those are all part of our worlds, but we can really create from a place of, what do I want, and what do I want in my relationships, and how do I want to create that? How do I want to be the creator of that? Whether it's even starting from a conversation that's hard, we can be the creators. And if I was not brave to do that, I would not have been able to replant the seed of growth in my relationship.
I think that's so empowering that, we can recreate it. So not be hard on ourselves if we have struggled in the past to do that. But yes, we can do that today. We can do that now. I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I think it's really important that you brought that distinction of how you can make that happen. I wanted to actually shift to something that I'm really excited to share with everyone. And before that, I would also like to acknowledge what you mentioned about Ranjan's story. So for anybody watching, Ranjan is, the one who planted the seed of this beautiful event that we are looking forward to in a week in Mumbai, the ultimate being experience, where we hope to have at least 500 people in a room experiencing the most incredible time in shift in their being. And Ranjan's story that you referred to of Be There has struck a chord with me as well. And I think it's given me this whole sense of being unhurried and not to be doing. And there's this sense of calm and spaciousness in things that I'm around me. And I think it comes from the space of thinking about who am I being when I'm with my mother? Who am I being in, with a group of people in a virtual room? And that being there is so important. So being there in that moment. I like that. And thank you for bringing that in. And thank you, Ranjan, for sharing that powerful story. So in all that excitement and buzz that's happening for us, for everyone who's registered for this event on the 25th of Feb, I wanted us to share what we are creating, the Miracles Out of Love, which is going to extend way beyond that event. So Tanya, I would love you to share this beautiful experience that we are putting together.
Thank you so much, Farah. I'm super excited to share with everyone.
Yeah.
We have created a team Ultimate Coach, and we are a group of 20 Facebook Ultimate Coach members who have been present in and through season 1 and season 2 of the Ultimate Coach book readings by Amy Hardison and Alan D. Thompson. Yes. And I would love to give acknowledgement to Dr. Rain Warren. This was her original creation and vision into the book readings. And now we are in season 3. And season 3 will be a little different. So we have a lot of really exciting things coming up. Like I said, we have 20 people on our team. They are working so hard behind the scenes, collaborating, uniting, creating together the best season 3 book readings for the Ultimate Coach. And I would like to acknowledge each and every one of you who are working so hard behind the scenes. And I can't wait to introduce you very soon.
Thank you, Tanya. Maybe if you can share, what was the vision? Why is it important to be part of this, to have this space where you can read together as a community? That would really support anyone else who's just bought the book or who are coming for the event and are looking forward to read the book and integrate it into their lives.
Thank you so much for asking that question, Farah. It's a powerful question. The vision is to be able to create community in the reading the book about you, listening to the book about you, and sharing the book about you. And so in every book reading, we follow the instructions from Steve Hardison in reading the book. And we read the back of the book first, and then we read the Before You Begin by Steve Hardison. And it really puts us in a place of being present to who we need to be or who we want to be in our lives, rather than just the book being about Steve Hardison. And what's been so powerful with this vision of doing it in community is the community. Being able to share vulnerably, being able to grow from the awareness that is created for self when we hear the book about us. Sometimes it's like peeling that layer that, oh my gosh, it's like if you don't wear glasses and all of a sudden you need them and you're like trying to read and things are real blurry, and then you all of a sudden put your glasses on, you're like, wow, you mean that's been there the whole time? It's kind of like that. And so when we're able to do it in community, it's a support. It's a support. Sometimes there's tears, sometimes there's laughter, sometimes there's shakiness, but when we're in community, there's just divine support of love that helps you grow through the peeling of the layers. Because sometimes when you recognizing that, or when you're laying some stories that have ruled you for your whole life that have not served you, and you're like laying them to rest, that's really too hard sometimes. And it's not that we're there to do it for you, but we're there with you, and we're all there to grow together. We're all coming from a place of willingness to love willingness to serve, and willingness to grow. And that's a powerful place.
And I want to share with everyone that when I fell in love, when I fell in love with the book and fell in love with reading about me, I was invited by one of our team members, Rebecca. She said, you should actually attend this, the book reading. And so I remember attending, I think, 2 of those, and boy, those were the most powerful experiences I had, and it stayed with me. And for me, the most precious moment was when you reached out to me and invited me to be part of book reading season 3. Even before you finished the sentence, I would have said yes, because that's where I was and that's where I am. So I'm really excited that we are going to create this space from March 5th, where you can come in and, of course, have the most incredible experience in a space of absolute trust, vulnerability, and openness, and get the experience that you're looking for. So watch out, everyone. You're going to actually, this event is just beginning for us on the 25th, and you can actually join all our book readings, which are going to be twice a week, and continue probably reading the book either the first time or as many times as possible in community. And it's been powerful having this amazing team, and the kind of shifts that are happening for me when I'm part of this team has been super, super incredible. And thank you for your leadership, Tanya. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your acknowledgement. And again, it's an honor to have you as part of our team. I'm so excited about this season. Truly, the ideas that we're all collaborating and allowing our just creative flow of love to coming together in support of this vision is just truly a miracle. And so I would love to plant the seed in anybody that's going to Mumbai, and for those of you that are reading the book, and even in today on Valentine's, where can you be love? Where can you be love to you and show up for you and love you? And even if it's just reading one line of your document to hold on to, or if it's reading your document to hold on to. But where we show ourselves love, then love runneth over and like starts to bubble out of us. So if we're finding it hard to love others, then pause and give yourself permission to love you today. You're worth it.
That's just simply beautiful. I don't even want to go beyond this. I want to thank, I think we have Pooja, Saloni watching live. And of course, I'm learning how to look at it on my phone. So if you all have any questions, anyone has any questions, feel free to share it now. But Tanya, thank you for today. It's so exciting that we could create this today. And it came from a conversation that we had. And there's so much you can create when you come from a place of love. And I think it happened in an instant, and that idea.
Yes.
And that's brought us together here. Yeah.
And what I love, though, is that it would have never been created if we didn't have a conversation.
True.
And so it's the value of understanding how powerful a conversation can lead to miracles, can lead to creating miracles in our lives and in the lives of others. So thank you, Farah. Thank you for having that conversation with me. And thank you for being part of our team.
Thank you so much. And to anyone who's watching, watch out for all the excitement that we're going to be sharing in the next 10 days, because if you are looking at having the most incredible experience about your own being, about being with us in Mumbai, feel free to connect with any of us. We'll share the links on the comments below. Join us in Mumbai. It's one day that you don't want to miss, because I think our lives are going to be changed in that day, based on who we're being, of course. So I'm excited. I'm getting prepared. I'm preparing like I'm going for the Olympics. or the marathon, and I'm reading and I'm being in that space. And then after 25th, I know that we have another place to go to be able to continue building on this space and choosing who I want to be. So I'm really excited we've created this, Tanya. And if there's anything you want to add about the event or anything at all to anyone who's watching, please share that right now.
Absolutely. I just want to encourage everyone that is traveling to Mumbai, everything that you are growing through in order to get you there, that is part of your experience. Love your journey, enjoy your journey, even the difficult parts where you're like, woo, enjoy it all. It's all purposeful. It's all there to grow you and love and just love yourself through it. Love yourself through the journey. And for those of us that will not be there, we will be loving you in spirit. And I just want to encourage you to love you where you're at. Because I remember when I wasn't able to be a part of the London experience, I had a little bit of FOMO, right? A little bit of fear of missing out. And I had to actually make an agreement with myself to love myself and be present where I was, because I was in a powerful, I was around a lot of people. And what's so funny is the universe worked for me in such an advantageous way, because we went on a kayak ride and my boat got capsized. So my phone went underneath the water. So I had to be disconnected from everything else and present to where I was at. So that was the best lesson for me in understanding that the universe was working for me, even though I thought, oh, now I have no phone. But I was able to love right where I was at and be present right where I was at. And that was the gift. That was
Beautiful.
the gift.
Love who you are at this very present moment, and enjoy the entire process of growing into whatever you're going to be growing into. I know I'm going to be different after today, after 25th, but I'm loving that and acknowledging that I'm going to be different. And thank you so much, Tanya. I'm so excited to have had you in this room. And to anyone else who's watching, really appreciate your comments. What are you looking forward to, and what love really means for you? Let's hear that, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you for making time.
Thank you. Thank you, Farah. Have a wonderful day, everyone.
Thank you. I am trying to switch off my live.
It doesn't want you to. They want us to keep talking. They want us to keep loving them. They're not ready to let the love go yet.
It's not them, it's me. I'm learning to find this.
It's okay. It's all okay. It's great. You're doing it.
Okay. I don't know what I did, but yeah, I'm almost there.